and I didn't know what moment to kind of film, so this was like the best moment I had. And I'm sad that I don't have the darkness. This is quite light than what I'm used to and what you guys are used to, so I do apologize for that. This is the most I can do. I'm sorry. Also, I don't have my Blue Yeti because it's just so heavy to carry. So currently I'm using like a cheaper alternative from Amazon. I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's like $20 to $30. It does its job. It's not as crisp, of course, like sound quality wise, but what can you do? So aside from all that, I hope that you're all doing well, and hopefully this mic is somewhat okay and somewhat good, even a little bit, hopefully. I hope the gain picks up, you know. I hear it, but I don't know how well, you know. So today we're going to be doing something I haven't done in a long time, which is reading you scary stories, like a couple little creepy stories for you. So I hope that you enjoy that, and let's get started. The first story is called Killing the Sleep. I lay in my bed. My eyes were cracking. Every night, I lay in this bed, smiling from ear to ear at my great escape. Yes, I had done it. I had conquered it. I had finally taken control. I didn't need the sleep. I didn't need the weakness of sleep to be my foil. I was strong. I was the real deal. I tried to move slightly in my bed, but I felt the straps were tight. I giggled at this. Really? You don't think I can get out? Shut up. I yelled at the closet door that was being pounded from the inside. I heard the woman say to me with worry, "There's no one there." "Don't lie to me," I screamed at her, and she took a few steps back as I jerked forward, trying to bite her. "You took him away and now I'm free. You mustn't let him out. He isn't me." "What should we do?" she asked the man in shadows beside her. He looked at me in the distance, examining my burning eyes, and said one more time, "Electric shocks." "Yes, kill me and I win. Kill me and I can finally kill the sleep." I shrieked in a howling laugh. Oh, I found it all so funny, all so stupid. Again I heard the pounding and I screamed at the wardrobe, "Die and go to hell." "Help me," I screamed, then at the doctor, begging him for the drugs that made me stronger from the sleep. "Help me kill the sleep so he can never return." was. How perfect. An angel. I stuttered for words as she stood in the middle of the highway. I hurried out of my car, trying to approach her, but was overpowered by her very presence. I fell on my knees to the cement ground in complete awe and fear of her greatness. What are you? I stuttered out, terror of her mighty presence and the pure power of God I felt coming off her proximity. I'm so sorry, she whispered. She only whispered to me. I looked at her confused, not sure by what she meant. parade, the reflection of my third-degree burned face showing from my mirror away. Meet me and tell me I'm beautiful. We arranged a date. I didn't like stepping out in public. I was ugly. Since that fire scarring my face at the age of 12, no one would look at me. That's why I knew I was not beautiful. But maybe he would see me, and not the skin, me, and not the deformed duckling that never got to spread its swan wings. I said I'd meet him at the airport. He agreed to travel across international borders. I waited on a seat at the airport arrival station, and then I saw him approach me. He was a frail, elderly old man. His skin wrinkled, and his eyes full of tears. "You're beautiful," he said to me. I smiled and replied, That's all I wanted to hear." He sat down next to me, took my hand, and we remained silent until the stars appeared in the sky. I feel like that one was more sad. Not really like, dark. Well, I guess it was dark because it was sad, but not scary, The last one is called Away from the Crowd. I couldn't understand why everyone had been acting so strange around me lately. I was a bit nervous because of it, to arrive at the house of the party. I entered into the doors and saw my schoolmates talking around the house. They laughed and giggled as I passed them, and I felt the atmosphere was a happy, cheery one. I saw my best friend James standing away at the corner of the room. He was wearing a scary monster mask. He had always been quirky like that. Everyone else at the teen costume party were dressed in a more team wear, wanting to be seen as cool and sexy instead of scary. "Hey James," I said to him with a sad smile, feeling ignored from everyone else. "Hey," he said back, just as quiet. His voice sounded like it was pained. He had been struggling lately with our peers at school, and I wondered why he had came. "You look cool," I said to him, with barely a whiff of a smile, and he nodded his head back at me. "Need to look scary today. I feel scary." I nodded back in return, and he tilted his head at me, as if questioning something, and asked, "How did you know it was me?" "Because you always stand out from the crowd." "That's what I hate," James said sourly. He stood still for a couple of minutes, before turning his head towards the direction of the rowdy crowd, and uttered, "Everyone thinks they're so superior. They must be doing something right if they are fitting in." "We're all told to be ourselves," James whispered in hate of it all, "that others will accept you, but instead you just get beat to a pulp by the very people that are meant to be your friends." He was talking about the incident that had happened a couple of days ago. Some of the guys at this very party, had followed him home, and others cheered as he lay there quivering on the ground. "I'm sorry, man," I said to him in sympathy. I felt his pain, but I had never gotten his unwarranted punishment, and he just shocked. He pulled me closer and pointed it down to his hand that was going into his pockets. I watched the crowd around us chatting and laughing as he showed me a silver gun, and I swallowed at the sight.